Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what's the biggest red flag when meeting new people? They don't really listen to you or pay attention to what you're talking about, but expect you to be totally engaged with whatever they say and act put out if you aren't. The distracting noise coming out of that other person's mouth stopped. Finally, it's my chance to talk about me. Yay, it's like they are not listening at all but just have an algorithm running that looks for keywords in your story that they can relate to one of their stories. The interrupters. Man, some people have a habit of interrupting but don't mean no bad. My best friend has dyslexia, no idea how to spell it, and he always interrupts people and they get mad. And he always asks me if he's getting better with it, and tried his best to improve but he doesn't mean it. He's a RLLY good friend. That isn't a red flag unless you bring it up and they brush it off. Removed. Had a really good friend, but he talked magnificent shit about mutual acquaintances, both online and real life ones. While he had some good points and I agreed with a lot of what he said, he had something bad to say about everyone. In hindsight, he was probably talking shit about me behind my back as well. If they gossip with you, they'll gossip about you. When they try to one-up you in everything you say. Or even worse than that, when they try to two-up everything you say. When they're judgmental and critical of others, but never of themselves. You know my father. Yay, I seen him at the store buying milk a few years ago. They don't listen to what you say and respond accordingly, they only wait for you to stop talking so they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. I know people that don't even wait for me to stop. Now imagine those people being your best buds. When they start talking about the tons of money I am going to be making with their new business venture in selling knives door to door. That's oddly specific. It's common as hell though, vector marketing and MLM bullshit that is. They'd be on the same level as hardcore conspiracy theorists, where they think they are on the next wave of thinking when they are so far back in actuality. This knife will cut right through your shoes. Well, pretend this shoe is whatever you people eat. Maybe it is a shoe. Hi, my name is ______, and I'm an asshole. Literally how the shop manager introduced himself to everyone. Like it's an excuse. Oh god, this can fuck right off along with the I'm just a blunt person / I say it like it is group. I have an employee like this. Most often, these people will dish out the meanest, vilest things about everyone else, but can't take the slightest criticism back. My older sister would constantly brag about how she is a bitch as if that's something to admire. She is in fact completely shitty and a narcissist. I've never met any self-proclaimed bitches or assholes who turned out to be pretty cool. She also married a guy who introduced himself to me as I'm an asshole and I have no filter. At least they deserve each other. Someone on here once said something on this topic that resonated with me. People who brag about being brutally honest are usually more proud of the brutality than the honesty. When you barely know them and they act like your best friend, then later ask to borrow money. Yikes. How to tell who is a leecher in minutes. I had a friend like that. He was in his early 2020s but seemed an alright guy. One day, out of the blue, he tells me, dude, I really need to move out of my parents' house, but I don't have any money. I need about $300. I just stood there for a second and then said, dude, I don't just have that kind of money. His response was, I know, but I also know you have other friends who do. Can you ask them for me? I ended the conversation and stopped talking with him from then on. We weren't even friends for very long, but I didn't need someone in my life constantly asking for money like that. Asking me to PM them my ankle. Massive red flag. How often do you actually get ankle pictures? I've seen a lot of answers along the lines of when they say negative things about others, which I agree with BTW, but for me a huge red flag is when someone can't let someone else receive praise or be the center of attention. I've met people in the past who have shown small signs of jealousy when I've praised mutual friends, siblings, strangers, etc. And in each case it was indicative of bigger jealousy and self-esteem issues that led to some messed up stuff. The absolute worst is people trying to one-up another person's suffering. It's one thing to listen and say, I have a similar experience, this is what it is, so I can relate to what you're going through, but it's entirely another when it's, oh, you've sprained your ankle. I broke mine in 3 places and was on crutches for months. What you're going through is nowhere near as bad. Never, ever dismiss someone else's pain because you think you've been through worse. Edit, first silver, first any badge, thank you kind stranger. Edit 2, can't believe I got gold for a rant. I call this the Misery Olympics. I tell people that there's no need to compete in the Misery Olympics and we can all be miserable together lol. When the first thing they tell you about themselves is all the hardship and unfairness in their lives. Edit, well. First silver. Thanks all. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. I have a friend like this. She was crying about some guy she went on 2 dates with not wanting to continue to see her, and how her bike got stolen, acting like it was the end of the world. When I mentioned my dog having cancer and dying, the response I got was yeah but that's not that bad because you have some warning ahead of time, and then continued on about how her life is worse than anyone else's because of mild inconveniences. She was also yelling at me this entire time like her bike getting stolen and someone not wanting to date her was my fault. Ah. You made a rookie mistake. Never try to out-drama a drama queen. Even if your drama is more valid. Because then they'll yell at you for not being sensitive. Now the fight is about your insensitivity and how I didn't need more drama in my life and blah blah blah. And I win. If they can't take no for an answer. Yeah, I met someone, strictly platonic, recently who immediately got defensive when I said I couldn't take time away from my business at that time to do something social with them. They threatened to show up at my house and asked, what would you do then? There had been a bunch of red flags with this person leading up to this point, but that was where I was like goodbye, psycho. That's not how any healthy friendship / acquaintanceship works. Thank goodness I have enough good people in my life to recognize that. As teenagers I thought this was fun, friends dropping by and kidnapping you, or rescuing. A bunch of good memories started this way, spontaneous adventure. That kind of fun is not compatible with lots of adults though. My girlfriend has a best friend like this. The friend and I went back and forth for almost 10 minutes as I tried to explain why I didn't want to hang out with her and some other people. In her opinion, because I don't want to, isn't a real reason not to do something. I'm terrified for anyone she has sex with, honestly. I have been this person. Therapy fixed it, but holy fuck is it an exhausting / awful state of being for both the obsessive person and those around them. Reading through these comments made me realize I'm an asshole. Edit, it's like, I've been told I'm an asshole by my very best friends constantly at one point of time and I just shrugged it off thinking I'm way too charismatic for them to handle. First step in fixing a problem is acknowledging there is one. Being an asshole isn't permanent. Keep up the good work. Edit, thanks for the silver. It's my first medal ever. If you realize you do any of the stuff in this thread, and go oh, shit that's me instead of mentally discarding it as if it doest apply to you / doest count when you do it, then you're probably not an asshole. Nobody's perfect, and a lot of this stuff is very common, or easy to do accidentally. Subtle signs that they aren't remotely interested in you, and the only way you two are together is maybe because an obligation / favor. People change their tune often when they have to conceal their feelings of disdain for someone. I've been a victim of this and done this to other people. It sucks being on the receiving end of someone's disinterest, but some people just won't like you from the get-go and will just do the bare minimum to not be completely rude. Watch out for body language like avoiding eye contact and turning away their body from you. Edit, also pay attention to their tone and if they're listening to you. Usually it takes a combination of verbal and non-verbal cues to know. Also by avoiding eye contact, I mean constantly looking elsewhere on purpose as if to imply you're waiting for something better to happen. A polite voice instead of their normal voice is total indifference. Maybe this is because most of the people I know work service. What kind of signs would you list as examples? On their phone a lot, ignoring what you say, pretending to be busy with something else. Personally it's pretty obvious when people are just faking being busy. People think I'm a bitch, but I'm really just blunt and tell the truth. They can't handle that. Chances are you're just a bitch. That and the can't handle me at my worst / don't deserve me at my best types. If you can't handle me at my diddliest, you don't deserve me at my doodliest. Everyone here talking about slightly negative people, but Op asked for the biggest red flag, so I'm gonna go with having a swastika scar on their forehead. Nazi, what you going do when the war's over? Are you going to take off that uniform? Too much information too quickly. People who divulge too much about themselves from the offset generally have poor boundary issues. I speak from experience. I am a recovering poor boundary haver. I do this, yikes. I'm also very intense in relationships and generally get attached to people too quickly. How do you develop better boundaries? Boundaries, fast. Be fair. Be fair, not just to the other person, but also be fair to yourself. Don't put the other person's needs or desires above your own, or keep your needs or desires to yourself. Be assertive, not aggressive or passive-aggressive, and speak your truth, but also listen to the other person and be open to a discussion or a compromise. Don't expect the other person to always accommodate your preferences, and don't accept never having yours considered or honored. Oh, no, apologies. No unjustified apologies. Do not be overly apologetic. Apologize for making a request, for breathing, taking up space, being alive. Don't apologize for having your own opinion or for disagreeing with others. Many people, with and without BPD, struggle with over-apologizing, something that can serve to perpetuate low self-esteem and feelings of frustration, resentment, self-loathing, or self-betrayal. This is the opposite of self-respect. If you find yourself apologizing several times a day, start asking yourself, what am I apologizing for? Did I do or say something that legitimately warrants an apology, or am I over-apologizing? Often, people apologize to avoid conflict or because they have difficulty tolerating someone being angry with them, so they apologize to smooth things over or keep the peace. Here is an important point to keep in mind: if you apologize for every little thing, you may appear insincere when it comes to a situation where an apology is actually warranted. Building mindfulness around over-apologizing can help you to break the habit and raise your self-respect. Stick to values. Don't compromise or abandon your own values to try to please others or conform. Don't do anything that goes against what you know to be right for you. For example, if the rest of your friends want to go to a bar and stay out until 2 a.m., and you know that in your early sobriety you have difficulty being around alcohol, and you need to be at work at 9 a.m. the next day, then clearly this situation is not right for you personally. Speak up and make other suggestions or make alternate plans. Don't abandon your friends, religion, or hobbies for your new boyfriend or girlfriend. Make time to do the things that are important to you, and both you and your new relationship will be healthier for it. If another person expects you to compromise things that are important to you, then the relationship may not be the best fit for you anyway. Be truthful. Don't lie, exaggerate, or stretch the truth. Don't make excuses. Don't act helpless or take advantage of others when you are capable of helping yourself. Whether telling a little white lie or a blatant tale, people can be untruthful for many reasons. Often, they are trying to avoid confrontation, conflict, or getting into trouble. Perhaps they are trying not to hurt another person's feelings. And sometimes, people lie in an effort to try to manipulate or control a situation. Making it a habit of telling lies has a way of eventually tripping us up when one forgets what they have said and to whom they have said it. Play it safe and create a situation for yourself in which you never have to worry about what you have or have not said, thereby keeping anxiety, guilt, and shame away. Remember, telling only partial truths or omitting facts are also ways of being untruthful and can be harmful to relationships. Edit: no cliché, didn't expect this to blow up. Instead, a genuine heartfelt thank you for the virtual reward, as it really lifted my spirits to see so many of you experiencing the same thing as I, made me realize the similar struggles we all have.